What's up, y'all? We are back today for One More Chance Season 2, Episode 2. We're getting into it. We got a lot to talk about. I'm pretty sure it's going to be another good episode, just judging by last week's preview, especially the premiere. But before we start that, I want to thank all of y'all again for watching the video. If you did share it, thank you for that. All the new subscribers I got. I think I got like 20 plus within the week with this review and the Dance with the Stars review. I appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Continue to do that. Share the video. If you are new here, please go ahead and thumbs up this video. Check out all my other content. See if you like something there. Go ahead and subscribe if you would like. And drop a comment because I do want to talk to y'all as well. But yeah, let's get into this review. I'm a little sick. I don't know if you can tell. But hopefully I won't have any issues. But let's go. Focus. All right, so we return, and as we return, we are returning at the fight scene between Rollie and the sisters. And Rollie's in the other room. She's walking out, and Chance is like, I ain't seen her this mad like ever before. And I'm like, you really ain't seen? Because I felt like she was madder when her and Yodela was fighting. But he's like, I ain't here for this mess no more. I ain't here for no thugs. I'm here to find love and whatnot. And the two girls is in there, and Gabriella's definitely the more vocal sister. I want to call them twins for some reason. I don't know why, but because they do kind of look alike, but then I see that they're not. They don't look exactly alike. If they are twins, it might be fraternal. But Gabriella is definitely the more vocal one. And she's like, you need to send her home. Like, she old news. Like, send her home. The new girls is here. Like, she ain't here for you. She's just trying to start drama or whatnot. And Chance then goes and checks up on Rollie, who's sitting outside, and she's sitting outside eating on her wings. Which is just so funny to me because it's just like that's something that I want to see on the show. But like it was hysterical to me. And the wings look good too. But she's sitting out there saying like I'm just trying to fight for you because I don't want these bitches in here again trying to use you. So basically she's looking out for him, and he's like, I understand that and whatnot, and I appreciate that, but you gotta calm down. Like, can't be in here fighting on the first night. And I forget exactly what Micah said to her. Talking about something like eat your food. Oh yeah, he said something like eat, because she's sitting there eating her food. She eating her wings and she eating some hot Cheetos. Not hot Cheetos, regular Cheetos. And he said eat your food, and then she's talking about something like you trying to eat. He said you trying to eat all the food, but you don't want him to eat. Talking about Chance. And she's talking about he gonna eat this, you know what? And Chance just looked like, no, I'm not. It was just a funny little scene. And then we get back to the sisters, and they're talking about like next time some shit like this pops, we going in. Like we about to just square up, throw our sets up, and get it going. Rollie is so entertaining, y'all. Like, she is really one of the most entertaining people I've seen on reality TV of this modern era. But we get Chance walking with Charisse, and Charisse is stuck on the comment that Rollie made about how having Botox pussy. And Chance is like, what is she talking about with that? And he's looking a little confused. And she's saying, like, if you can see it through these jeans that I got on, these jean shorts, then good, because she wants Chance to see it too. But she's saying, like, I don't understand what she's talking about. But then we get Rollie. She's in the room with Danny, Diamond, Miko. I'm trying to remember all the names. Jonah Hill, 8 Mile, and I think that's all that was in that room. And she's kind of rehashing the situation, telling them like, we was in there fighting. Like, I had one of the sisters down and she couldn't swing on me, but the other one was trying to swing on me because I had the other one down, whatnot. Saying that she pulled a wig off and whatnot. Rollie is just funny. Just listen to how she just narrates everything that happens, and then just the force behind every single word that she said. When she cusses, it's so funny to me because she puts so much force behind each word. She's just naturally hysterical to me. But she's just rehashing the entire situation. A lot of the girls there are agreeing with her. Danny, I didn't see Danny. Danny's kind of looking like, okay, she's looking a little crazy. But the other girls like Diamond and Miko, those two were agreeing with her, saying like, because she was saying like, she was out here sucking you know what, and out here doing this the night before. And then she's saying, Rollie saying that Gabriella was basically trying to be nice to her because she already knew about the situation that had been happening with the other dudes. So she's basically trying to say like she's trying to just butter her up so she'll keep her mouth shut and don't say nothing to Chance. And the girls are sitting there agreeing with her as well, and they're all just basically saying like, them bitches gotta go. And they all on the same page, and it's very interesting to see that The rest of them are all agreeing. I don't know the legitimacy of that because a lot of them seem like they're just trying to get some TV time. But at this point, it looks like Rollie could be on to something, but we'll see. Yo, this show is so good. It's so much going on. I had to stop it and just get in here before I forget. So, like I said, Rollie is still sitting there talking to the girls, and in the other room, because they're in the living room area, in the other room in the kitchen, you got Charisse over there. I saw Khadijah, my favorite, over there. You got Yodela over there. You got Gabriella and her sister Maria. And the rest of it's like cohesively the entire house is in this area. But in this area, Charisse is sitting there listening as she can hear Rollie sitting there rehashing the situation. She takes it upon herself to take some chicken and start throwing it at her. Talking about the only way we're going to get her to shut up is if we throw a bucket of chicken at her. So she starts throwing chicken over there. And when she started throwing the chicken over there, all the girls that was over there was getting mad because she was chucking that shit. Like, she was just chucking the chicken. And it was so funny to me because Rollie got up immediately, went at her, and they sitting there arguing, going back and forth. Tokyo comes running through. And Tokyo's like, I'm in the kitchen and I see they out here throwing food and whatnot. This is Rollie Snack Meals. This is my girl. What'd she say? She like Soul Food Sunday or some shit like that. Funny. But basically, she's got Rollie's back. And she like, if they're going to be sitting here trying to jump on her, then you got to come with me too. So they start going back and forth. And Gabriella takes a big old glass bowl and throws it at, I guess she was trying to throw it at Rollie, but it ends up hitting Tokyo. Sets her off. Then a whole big just brawl ends up happening in the kitchen. Everybody's involved. Everybody's throwing stuff. Yodela was very vocal in this argument, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what her involvement was. And she's talking about she wanted to talk to the big one. I guess she's talking about Tokyo, but I don't know exactly what. But then she did say that she ended up getting wet. And she said in her confessional too, like, last season the other girls would just be throwing water, but they out here throwing candles, they throwing glass, they throwing bottles. She ain't here for it. And it's just commotion going on. And this show it gives everything I want to see. But so, like I said, they sitting there arguing and whatnot, and they throwing stuff, and Yodela's basically saying like, Rollie, because Rollie is very vocal again, and she's very rah-rah, she's wanting to fight. And Yodela's like, she should be a bigger person, and she should be the bigger person because you got another chance to come back, and you should be taking the high road instead of starting more drama. Which I do agree in a certain instant, but these girls are throwing glass at her, so obviously she got every reason to turn up. I would turn up, Yodela would turn up. But, so it gets to the point where it's basically two fights happening at one time. It's Charisse and Rollie, they sitting there in each other's face arguing and whatnot. And then you got Tokyo with Gabriella. And Tokyo's sitting there pointing at her and threatening her, saying she's going to beat her ass and whatnot. And I've noticed a switch in Gabriella's kind of energy, because she had all this energy for Rollie, but when it came to Tokyo, she was kind of like subdued. She was apologizing. She's like, I didn't mean to hit you, whatnot. Which I do believe she didn't mean to hit her with that glass. Like, she said she was trying to hit Rollie, which I do agree. I believe that she was trying to hit her, but she ended up hitting Tokyo. And Tokyo's sitting there trying to get her. Like, she's trying to get to her because you just threw glass in my face. And commotion just happens. Chance was upstairs. He comes downstairs and realizes that there's a whole nother fight going on. He, in security, is trying to get everybody to shut up because there's just so much going on. There's so much noise. And they're just trying to get some cohesiveness just to get people to shut up. And Chance finally gets him to be quiet, and he's sitting there saying, like, you can't be throwing glass in here. Like, if you're going to be doing something, if you're going to be fighting with somebody, square up and get it going. Which I agree with. Like, throw your setup and then keep it moving. And he's basically saying, like, you can't be throwing glass, you can't be doing all this shit, you can't be hurting the girls, you can't be hurting the crew, you just can't be hurting nobody, period, because you don't have time for that. And she apologized for it and whatnot, but she's saying that she wasn't trying to hit Tokyo, she was trying to hit Rollie, which don't make it any better. And it's like, and I agree too, like, at this point, I feel like they should bring if you watch Blueface's little Bad Girls Club on YouTube, well, it's on OnlyFans, but I watch it on YouTube. They will let the girls get down in the boxing ring. Well, not a boxing ring, just go downstairs in the basement with some boxing gloves and just box it out. That's what they need to bring onto this show. If y'all ain't gonna let them fight, get them in some gloves and take them to a room and let them box it out. Because then they won't be throwing candles and glass and whatnot. But that's what happened. Chance got them all to pretty much calm down and agree to that. He said, I'm upstairs trying to get y'all's names together, little nicknames and whatnot. And he's like, I can't even do that because y'all down here fighting. So what y'all gonna have to do is go to your rooms. So he sent them to their rooms, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen from here. So Chance ends up going to another room with Tokyo and Stormy, and basically she's saying like, they gotta go. Like, they out here throwing glass. Like, it's one thing to fight. Like I said just a minute ago, like, it's one thing to fight, but to be throwing glass and stuff, that's a different level of just shystiness. Like, and that's just grimy. Like, you can't just be throwing glass at people. And Chance is like, anything else that happens, like glass fights, whatever, somebody gotta go. And Stormy chimes in and says like, nah, they gotta go. Like, they out here throwing glass. Like, you shouldn't be okay with that. And he starts saying like, oh, you just mad at me because I called you bird's nest and whatnot. She's like, yeah, I am pissed off about that because you shouldn't be saying. And I agree with her as to why she feels that way. Like, I feel like that, she's got beautiful hair, first of all, and it's thick and it's nice. Like, and she's wearing it the way she should. She's wearing it proud, and I don't feel like you should be making fun of it. And that's nothing to make fun of, because I mean, she got hair. I mean, what's the issue with that? But yeah, she's basically saying like, I mean, I ain't talk shit about you. She said, I ain't talk shit about your bandanas and your glittery shirts. And she's low-key trying to fry him up in that confessional, but you can tell she got some energy. But she's saying like, yeah, I look good. Like, I'm fine. Like, you can't be talking shit about me. But he ends up running away and says like, just keep it down. And her and Tokyo sitting there talking. Tokyo said, I'm gonna beat her ass. Like, Tokyo is ready for Gabriella, so we will see if that ends up happening in the future. So Chance and Mike are upstairs, and they're basically just talking about like, we need to get this together. Somebody gotta go home because this is out of line. Like, we ain't doing this again. And Chance is basically saying like, yeah, we need to send somebody home. But Mike is like, we need to do something that we haven't done and didn't do last season, which is lay down the groundwork and just basically lay down the rules. Like, this is what's gonna go down in this house, and this is what's not gonna go down. So they end up going downstairs and rallying the girls. They all go and sit down. Khadijah is very nervous because she thinks, okay, he might be like, okay, y'all done tore my house up. It's time for y'all to get the fuck up out of here. We ain't even gonna do this. So they sit down, and they basically tell him like, we can't do this no more. Like, this is what it is. He addresses the situation with Rollie Polie and the two sisters. And he's basically saying like, he feels like the two of them coming in, y'all can't be in here trying to attack everybody because you know you got somebody that's got your back, yada, yada, yada. He's saying, Rollie Polie, you was on season 1, you was tearing shit up then, you can't be on here doing it again. Then he ends up addressing the other fight that happened, because like, this fight is overshadowing the other fight. You remember the fight that happened with the mother-daughter duo and the white girl. So they sitting there talking about that, and the mama saying like, she was talking about the white girl was coming for her daughter, and the daughter was like, yeah, I gotta defend myself, like, she's in here trying to come for me, and yada, yada, yada. White girl's like, nah, they was sitting there talking shit to me, and talking shit about me in my face, and didn't expect me to say anything, and I said some shit back, and they sitting there going back and forth, back and forth. And she was right in that moment too, because it's like, both of them was right in a way. No, I ain't gonna say that, because the white girl, they was picking on the white girl. Like, they was talking shit about the white girl. But the white girl was coming back and talking her shit too. So, I mean, it's tit for tat. So, but at that instant though, those two didn't even actually fight. So it wasn't anything that big. They just was arguing and talking shit to each other. But let's see. So then we get to talking about, Micah ends up, was it Micah? Yeah, Micah was the one that addressed, what is her name? I think it started with an R. I want to say Rosie, something shit like that. Apparently she went in his bathroom and took a shit. And he said that he saw skid marks and stuff in the toilet and whatnot. So he basically addressed that. She's like, I was looking for a bathroom. I had to pee. She's talking about she had to pee, but he said skid marks. So you peeing, you ain't gonna leave no skid marks peeing. But then they jump over to who they call Babe Ruth, a.k.a. Jonah Hill, the one that looked like she about to go play a Little League game. They ended up talking to her and asking her, like, what did you see? What's going on? What are you here for? Da, 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 da. And she's like, I didn't see, I'm just minding my business and whatnot. And they was like, yeah, I can see you minding your business. And they're like, I don't think you really here for Chance. And she's like, I am here. And then she ends up saying, I'm here for my nigga. And I was like, hold up, yo nigga. Like, looking at her, I don't see a bit of black in her. So I'm like, why is she saying? They get a bunch of white girls on here saying nigga and getting comfortable saying it. Like, you got, what's the girl from Jocelyn's show? The blonde girl. She was on there dropping it like it was nothing, and nobody said nothing. It's blowing my mind, and nobody said nothing here either. But whatever. So then they get on to, Chance ends up calling Stormy Nest. And I like the fact that she's sticking up for herself. She's like, I'm not fucking answering to that because that's disrespectful. Like, you're not going to sit here and just start making fun of me because of my hair. like she said, she's a black woman, which she is, embracing her natural hair, which is beautiful hair too. And she said that too. Like, my hair is beautiful. You ain't gonna be out here calling me bird's nest. Like, you can call me anything else. Don't call me bird's nest. And she's saying that, and Chance is like, you need to have a sense of humor. Granted, certain things you do need to have a sense of humor with, but shit like that is not, it's not okay. Like she said, it's not okay. There's certain things you need to talk about. And I'm glad she's bringing it up and saying, like, that's not okay. Like, when it comes to just black people in general, especially with our hair and our appearance and whatnot, like with tattoos and hair, we got a long history of just not being accepted in corporate America or just in natural life, just being our authentic selves. Like, walking around with braids, walking around with dreads, walking around with your hair in an afro. Just embracing your true blackness is an issue in society, which is horrible. And then you got niggas on here doing the same shit that we get bashed for. You get bashed for the same shit too, Chance. Like, that's the part that she was on that I was like, yeah, that's gotta stop. Like, find something else to pick on her or just joke with, cause that ain't it. She stood up for herself, and I'm glad she did. But yeah, Chance is like, I was gonna get y'all these little nicknames out tonight, but we ain't even gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna go sleep on it. I'm gonna go sleep on the fact that somebody's about to go home. He basically saying a couple of y'all gotta get up out of here. Yodela's like, man, there's too much shit going on. We can't even get the names today. Somebody's about to go home. And she said, I don't feel like a lot of these girls are here for Chance. And he basically tells them, go on to bed. All right, so we get to the next day. The next day, we got Danny outside. The girl, what was her name? The one that was causing the drama in the room the first episode. We got Rosie out there. We got Nadi coming out with Charisse. And they just basically sitting there talking about how like everybody's excited about just a new day, a fresh day, no drama. And Charisse is talking about like she just hopes that they have a great day with no drama and whatnot. And Nadi ends up saying like, yeah, you was in the middle of some shit last night. And Charisse is looking like, nah, like, what are you talking about? Like, I wasn't in the middle of that. They was like, yeah, you was. You was in the middle of that mess with Rollie Poly. And she's like, yeah, because she was out here talking about I got Botox pussy. And she's saying like, how would she even know like how tight my shit is and whatnot? And she basically said in her confessional, like, I guess, I mean, even though I'm not a fan of that name, it's better than being called Rollie Poly. So then they ended up talking about the sisters again and saying like, they all cohesively said like, I feel like the sisters should be the ones to go home first. Diamond ends up bringing up that she believes what Rollie was saying because she said that she knows one of the dudes that the girls was fooling with. She said that she's supposed to go to a party or whatnot because she knew who the dude was, and I don't know where that correlation came from. She's saying that she know who the dude is, but I don't know where that has anything to do with what Rollie Poly was saying. She didn't elaborate on it, but that's where they're going with that, and they all agree that those girls need to go home. So they're about to go see what's about to happen for the rest of the day. Man, Yodela, I'm proud of her. I'm so proud of her in this scene. This scene was really funny. It got turned. So in this scene, we got, who in this scene? We got Yodela, we got the twins, the sisters, Gabriella and Maria, we got Khadijah, we got Stony, we got, what's her name, Stony? Yeah, Stony. We got Jonah Hill, we got 8 Mile. The black girls, Yodela, Gabriella, Maria, Khadijah, and Stony, they all on this side, and then the other two was on the other side. And it's like they a little clique over here, and then them two is just like the outcasts. So they sitting there rehashing the same situation that happened last night too. Well, the other night, not my last night, but the night before. You know what I'm talking about. But they were sitting there talking about it, and Stony brings up the fact that a drink, some liquor got thrown in her eye, and she was trying to figure out who did it. And Jonah Hill is sitting over there, and she looked really nervous, but she ends up admitting that it was her, and she was saying somebody threw some chicken at her, and she was pissed off and ended up throwing her drink. And Stoney's like, so you sit here, somebody threw some chicken at you and it didn't hit you. It grazed, because that's what she said, it grazed past her face, but she threw her drink. So she's like, you just threw your drink just in any direction. You didn't throw it at anybody that threw some chicken at you. You just threw it in any direction. So Stoney's pissed off because she's saying like, I mean, I got glass thrown at me, but I didn't. She said, I got glass thrown past me, but I didn't just take a drink and start throwing it at somebody. And they basically just checking her saying like, you shouldn't have been doing that shit. And then she ends up apologizing and whatnot. She looked very scary, and she looked like she could be hoed, like she could be punked. And she ended up apologizing, backtracking and whatnot. So then, I'm trying to remember how this exactly happened. Nah, Yodela didn't do anything, actually, at this point. 8 Mile just charges into the conversation and starts to kind of get rah-rah with them, and it's like, why are y'all sitting here coming for her for throwing some wings when, for throwing a drink when people was throwing wings and chicken at her? And she's getting more and more riled up. And she's getting riled up, and Yodela's like, yo, calm down, like, you doing too much right now. And they all looking the same way, like, she doing a lot, like, she getting a little hype. She takes it upon herself to start trying to check Yodela, talking about something like, look at you, you got plastic all in your mouth and whatnot. And then Yodela takes it upon herself to start calling her a dope head, saying that she's shaking and shit. She was shaking. It was like she was fainting, like, she was just shaking, and they were sitting there laughing, like, all the girls was laughing. Yodela was clowning her the whole time, and she just gradually got more and more mad. Like, Yodela got her dumb tight, and it was so funny because the rest of the girls was laughing like I was, and Yodela was laughing because she was like, I'm getting you, it's like in Yodela's head, it's like, I'm getting you all riled up, and I'm not even doing anything at this point. Like, I'm just literally checking you because you just coming at me a type of way, and they all saying like she look like she on drugs, like she didn't calm down. And they just start going back and forth, back and forth. The girls end up trickling it out. Gabriella and Maria was like, let's go, we don't need to be involved in this, let's go. Khadijah ends up leaving, and then it ends up being just Stoney and Rollie, Stoney and Yodela and the 2 white girls. And the white girls is going back and forth with Yodela, calling her a whore. Well, not calling her a whore, but just saying, like, you worked at a strip club, you need to humble yourself, yada, yada, yada. Saying that Yodela's got plastic duck lips and whatnot. Just talking shit. They always just talking shit about her. Yodela ends up saying, like, nah, these lips maybe a 6-figure woman. Like, I got money. Like, do you need a job? And that's what she was saying. Like, Yodela was saying, like, old me, I would have rocked your shit. Like, new me, I'm just gonna ask you if you want a job. Like, at this point, Yodela's in her bag, and she's like, I'm not about to be sitting here fighting with you. I'm not about to be sitting here arguing with you. If you want to have this type of beef with me, come get a check. Like, I got a job for you. And she started asking her too. She's like, do you need to be hired? Like, do you need a job? And she's like, I'm hiring right now. She's just playing in her face. And as she's playing in her face, old girl's getting more and more pissed off. And it was just so funny to me. It is hilarious. And Yodela, I mean, like I said, she grew up. Like, last season, she's not lying. Last season, she would have turned up on you. This season, she's looking like she's definitely matured a lot more. And she's wanting to be better. But she still got it in her. She still got it in her. You ain't gonna play in her face. And that's exactly what the white girl was trying to do. And the white girl, it just seemed like she's just trying to prove something. For some odd reason, it's like she's just trying to prove her worth. And she's sitting there with a hood and ratchet shirt on. And Yodela was picking on that too. Like, you sitting there with a hood and ratchet shirt on, but you ain't either one of those. And it's the truth. Like, you ain't hood and you ain't ratchet. Like, she's trying to be. She got her black suit on, but... So they still sitting there arguing, and then the white girl ends up calling Yodela, saying, like, go run with your minions. Telling Yodela to go run with her minions. At this point, all the girls that was in there was no longer in there. I guess Yodela ends up calling them back in, because she's like, they ain't no minions, because if they was minions, they would be in here with me right now. So they all come back in there, and Khadijah was piping in. Khadijah's my favorite. Like I said the first night, she's the one, if I was in the house with her, she'd be the one I'd be coming for. She's beautiful. I love her accent. She's got like a country accent. I don't know where she's from, but she's got my eyes. She kind of looked like Ashanti too. Like a light-skinned version of Ashanti. But she started piping in saying like the same thing I just said. Like, she was a minion. She would be in here right now jumping on you when Yodela was jumping on you, and she wasn't. And she said at this point, yeah, now I'm involved. Now I'm here, and now I'm piping up. The sisters got in there, and they were saying the same shit like, bitch, like, ain't nobody a minion. Like, if we was minions, we would be in here on your ass. But we in here on your ass now because you were here talking shit. And she's still going back and forth, and then they ended up walking out laughing again. And she's sitting there with, damn, what's her name? I don't know what her name is, so I'm gonna keep calling her Jonah Hill. But they sitting there talking, and she ended up saying this. She said niggas, she said some shit about some niggas. Yeah, she said that too. She said that the girls, the sisters talking about some y'all was out here fucking with them niggas. Why are these white girls in here saying niggas and nobody is saying nothing about it? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's getting to the point where, like, a lot of it's just like shows in general, a lot of these people nowadays are just allowing white people to be out here just saying nigga. Like, for what? Like, that's not cool to me. But they sitting there arguing. Jonah Hill is saying, like, she don't agree with what old girl is saying, and, like, just coming out and acting a fool for no reason. And basically they end up just kind of saying, let's go smoke. So they end up and go and smoke, and we're gonna see what's about to end the show because the show is almost done. So yeah, the last scene we end up getting some more drama. Rollie is outside, and she ends up claiming that she ends up hearing that the girls, the sisters, was in there talking about her kid. And she ends up throwing, I guess she ends up throwing a bottle of water and some candles at them, apparently, but we didn't get to see it because they didn't have it. They didn't air it. Like, I'm pretty sure they recorded it, but they didn't air it. So they in there in the kitchen. It's all the girls that was just in the room with the white girls, and Stormy, the one with the fro. They was in there, and they all like, why is she in here doing this stuff? They basically saying like, send her home at this point because she in here throwing shit. And that's where we at right now. So we're gonna see what's about to happen next week.
Hey, I'm gonna make y'all life a living hell yeah. Don't bitch. Don't Maria.
She throwing chairs now. I feel like Rollie about to go home. I really do. I feel like they're about to send her home. She out of control now. She doing a lot. But here we go. I'm about to start recording now.
Kick that bitch out. I'm not sleeping with one eye fucking on because I'll kill him.
That shit is crazy.
Turn it off.
All y'all fighting for what though?
You know, it's like we just opened the damn gate and a herd of cows just came running in, man.
I never apologize for putting my hands on no bitch. I don't never have to apologize for putting my hands on a bitch.
It's time to get to know these girls. I'm gonna have to call you Skittles, because I might want to taste the flavors.
You could taste the rainbow today.
Should I call you Pumpkin because you got so much orange?
Or maybe I should call you Doggy Doomstick.
Shit. Now that is a solid, soft piece of work.
Why don't you try something different?
A young dog always gonna learn new tricks.
I'm very scared. I used to be a dominatrix.
I can never take you home to mom if you go and talk like this. You know, your butt's flat, your butt's long, but it looks strong.
She literally told them, she said that to the girls too, that they was gonna end up calling her a flat ass.
These ladies been giving me a hard time, man. They all on the chopping block. Y'all should have been eliminated, discriminated, or shaminated. You're a beautiful person, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to eliminate you tonight.
Alright, I don't know who going home. Yeah, I feel like I know who should go home. It should be Jonah Hill or the white girl. Because I feel like out of Chance's options, I don't feel like he's gonna connect with them. And you got to keep the mama around for the entertainment factor. She's like kind of like Mangina was. Just he ain't gonna be with an old lady. Just like he wasn't gonna be with a trans person. But I don't even know if Mangina is trans. I don't even know what you would consider him. Whatever. But yeah, that's just where I'm at with that. Interesting episode. Very jam-packed as it has been with the last season. This show is very, very good. I love this show because it just gives you a lot of energy. It just gives you a lot of stuff and it's a lot of content. And the girls are just, they're very entertaining. But that was my review. I got through it. I'm proud of that because I'm sick. But if you like what you saw, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, though. Just let me know what you think. Who are your favorites on the show? What you think about the fights? Who do you think is going home? Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. All that is in the info box below. And yeah, I'll be here next week. If you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for that. Thumbs up this video because it helps me out. It'll get these videos out to people that may not know that I'm doing this and might like what I'm doing and bring them on because we're trying to get them subscribers up. But thank you again because we're close to 400. So yeah, let's keep it rolling. I want 1,000, but thank you again. I will see y'all next week if you only watch my One More Chance shows. But if you watch all of my stuff, you'll see me tomorrow, Dancing with the Stars review with my girl Rose. And I will see y'all then. Peace.